Hi guys, and welcome to a episode of Survive the Wild. I know it's been a long time since you've seen anything. It's been about a month actually since I put anything up. The last time I went out, did a nice wild camp at an old camp of mine that I normally spend summertime in. Well, not every summer, but occasionally. So yeah, today I'm just out for a little bit of a wander. I've got a day off, which is great. So I just thought I'd come to an old walk of mine that I used to walk very regularly in the Rivelin Valley just outside of Sheffield. So like the north western side of Sheffield. It's a lovely little walk. You've got the Rivelin Valley that runs up through, which you'll see, and I'll just have a wander around, see what I see, take you guys with me, and at the end of it I'll tell you a little bit what's been happening with me and the channel, and what I've got planned for the channel as well. I've got a few little exciting things coming up, hopefully in the near future. So stay tuned, and we'll go for a nice little wander. So as I was walking along this track, and we're still, you know, a couple of hundred yards away from a built-up area. But here you can see the shape of a cloven hoof. Judging by the size of it, I'm going to guess that it's probably a red deer. A few days old. We had a bit of rain yesterday, and obviously somebody's walked into this track as well. Coming in this direction, the deer was travelling in that direction, but afterwards. There is almost a remnant of another bit of a track here, but it's too difficult to tell. The shape's completely all messed up, but yeah. You can tell that, you know, this is the back end of that track. That's the front going that way. So yeah, red deer very close to Sheffield. Oh, again, just outside the city centre, in the lovely Rivelin Valley. And that's a great sight to see, is the grey heron. To be fair, there's usually one up here. It's the same heron. It's fairly tame. A lot of herons, as soon as they see someone, they'll fly off. This one's got used to people. I've seen him up here now for a good 4 or 5 years, assuming it's the same heron. But there he is, just resting in the shallows. All the way up this valley you get all these mill ponds. This valley's just dotted with them from the old industry. I think there's about, let me think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's about 10 dotted all the way up this valley. And pretty much all these trees have grown up in the last 100, 120 years. This was actually a very industrial valley. I say it was all dotted with, you know, you've got all these mill ponds, so there's all mills, all ironworks that was all the way up this valley. I've seen some old photos. It looks, you know, it's quite fascinating. And but you know, that industry around here is gone. We have got all the new steel industry further down towards the east end of Sheffield, but yeah, nature has reclaimed this. It's sort of been managed. You know, all these ponds now make a great habitat for wildlife, as these ducks can probably confirm, but just a lovely, peaceful little getaway. Shame about the road up there. Now here's a sure sign that spring's on its way, just around the corner. The Hazel catkins. These are the flowers that will go on to produce the fruit, the hazel. You tend to get them in clusters of 3, sometimes 2. That's usually how you find the nut later on in the autumn, so like the back end of the spring. But yeah, quite an interesting structure. It's actually made up of lots of flowers, probably hundreds of tiny flowers there, which, like I say, will go on to produce a nut per stalk or flower stalk. But definitely a sure sign that spring is around the corner. As I was walking along this path, I just happened to come across this, and I mean, so it's very late in the year, it's not looking its best, but this is sedge, and it's a true sedge, and the way you can tell like a true sedge is, I'll get a closer up view of this, but on the stems they're triangular, so they have 3 sides, and this bit here is where the seed head's been. And this, I mean, you can still, I mean, there's nothing left on there, but our hunter-gatherer ancestors would have used this like we use wheat today. They've ground it up and basically turned it into, like, baked it into like a bit of a biscuit, really. But this has one good benefit over things like wheat, that it doesn't suffer from a fungus called ergot, which is very toxic. Now, if you a mild amount of poison from ergot, and you still get ergot in commercial crops today, they have to be very wary of it. But a small amount of ergot can sort of like, it'll send you mad, and in other cases it will kill you if you ingested a lot of it, but certainly too much. I would say a lot. It always depends on the person's size and kidney, liver functions, really. But yeah, just thought this was worth pointing out. So, seen better days, but we are at the end of winter. Here's a handy tip. All this dead bracken, even now, I mean, like I said, we're at the end of February. We've had a few days of rain, it's been pretty damp. This is bone dry. It dries really well, and you can pretty much guarantee if you've got bracken around, you can gather enough. It'll give you a fairly good tinder bundle. If you were using like a cramp ball, King Alfred's cake, Amadou, or if you've got a bow drill set, collect a load of this up. I say, even if it's been raining that day, it will dry fairly quickly if you sort of like hang it in a tree if there's a bit of a breeze, or if you really wanted to, you could carry it around with you. But it's yeah, absolutely bone dry, and the surrounding area is wet through. So but I would say be careful when you're pulling at it. I mean, at this time of year it's really brittle now, but particularly the stems, when they break, the edges are really sharp, and I have cut myself, particularly on this side, the inside of my hand, a few times picking this stuff. And same goes for when it's green. But yeah, good little tip. Well, it's certainly been nice to get out for a bit of a wander. I've not walked up through the Rivelin Valley for quite some time. It used to be a really regular walk of mine, because it's simple to get out here. It takes me 20 minutes to walk to the beginning of Rivelin Valley. You know, normally I'll do like a loop and I'll walk all the way and I'll walk all the way back, but given I've not done much walking over the winter and late autumn, yeah, I think I'll be heading up the hill and getting the bus back into town. But I've really enjoyed it. It's been nice to get out. A little bit different. I was hoping to get out for a camp sometime this week. It's not quite worked out, but yeah, it's just one of those things. Oh. So yeah, what's happening with the channel then at the moment? Because you'll have noticed I've not been putting much content out. I say that's down to work, not having much free time over the past few months. Well, it's 4 months now, really. Yeah, crikey, that's a long time. It's basically pretty much all of winter. Would have been nice to get out more and do a bit more winter camping. I do enjoy getting out in the winter and camping like I do at any time of year. But yeah, so what's happening for the future? Well, jumping back a little bit, when I was 17 I started doing driving lessons. Did about 13 lessons, got fairly good. It was probably only a few lessons off maybe actually getting my test done and actually getting hold of my licence, but I ran out of money. Now, it happens to quite a lot of people. A few people I know, it's the same thing that's happened to them. And ever since then I've either had the money, not had the time, or vice versa, not had the time, not had the money. But now my hours have come down at work, which is great because it means I can get out more. I'm in a position now where I've got both. Like I say, my mum very kindly helped me out a little bit as well. She gave me some money for my birthday back in December for all driving lessons. She's decided to quit driving, so she said, I'll pay for your lessons, get you through your test, and then you can drive me around. Right, thank you. But yeah, so I've now got my provisional, that's sorted out. I've actually got my theory test a week today. So on Thursday, next Thursday, I've got that. So fingers crossed for that. I've been studying like crazy for it. I have got quite a lot of road experience. I've spent 20 years on the road as a cyclist. I've ridden all over the country. Literally, I'd say the only place in the country I haven't really ridden round is like the very far east. So like Northumbria, that's about it. Everywhere else I've cycled around. So I do have quite a lot of road experience on that score. I know it's not driving, but I know I know how a road works. Let's put it that way. So hopefully, in the next couple of months, I shall have my driving licence. I'm saying couple of months, it sounds a little ambitious, but I'm determined. I'm going to get it done. I am saving for a vehicle currently, and I've got a good arrangement with a driving instructor that I happen to know. So he's going to sort me out with driving lessons at a very reasonable price in exchange for I'm going to take him out and show him some wild edibles and certain fungi and various things, because he's very much into cooking. So he's quite. I think he was more excited about it than I was in a sense, but I'm happy to help. So it's we've got a bit of a mutual benefit thing going on, which is great. I will be getting an off-road vehicle simply because one, I'll need the space for taking my kit out, with me, especially when I go to events and stuff, which I'll be hopefully doing more of through the summer, autumn this year. I've already got one booked for October, which is the bushcraft event down at Cannock Chase. That's for like scout groups, scouts, beamers, cubs, which I did last year, which was great. Really enjoyed it. So I'll be able to take more equipment with me. I'll be able to do, you know, better things, and I'll also be able to get out further. So I'm hoping, you know, trip to Scotland is definitely on the cards. Maybe Wales, and yeah, do a little bit of off-roading and do some videos on vehicle off-roading techniques, maintenance, that sort of thing. I have done a bit of off-roading before. I am a fairly confident mechanic when it comes to vehicles. I did a year's mechanic course when I was about 20, which was great. I'd been tinkering around with engines when I were young anyway, so it comes fairly easy to me. But yeah, and I've got a vehicle in mind as well. Some of you will go, yay, and others will go, they'll shake their head and go, why are you buying a Land Rover Defender? Simple. They are really strong, good workhorse engines. They're not the fastest, they don't have a huge brake horsepower, but all the power is in the low end of the revs, which is perfect for off-roading or, you know, pulling. That's what you need. That's what I'm after. Yes, I'm fully aware of, you know, they have bodywork issues and they have tendencies of rotting out a bit. Fully aware of that, but I know how to rectify it. And the best thing with Land Rovers is that they're damn easy to fix. Extremely easy to fix, and because of that, they're cheap to insure. In particular, as a new driver, I need cheap car insurance, or as cheap as I possibly can get it. So, because my options were something like a Renault Clio or a Land Rover Defender. In terms of insurance, they were about the same, amazingly. You know, you got a 2.5 turbo diesel engine compared to like a 1.2 petrol. But there you go. So there, you know, so there are a few things I've got on the cards. I'm going to get out more. You know, spring's on its way as well, so there's you know, the weather's going to improve. The days are getting longer. I mean, it's already 3 o'clock, and still probably got about a good hour and a half of decent daylight. So yeah, lots to look forward to. I'd like to say, sort of apologies that I haven't got out as much over the, you know, the past few months and been doing the videos. Just one of those things, you know, I've been working a lot, not had much free time. But now things are settling down and we'll be getting out more. And hopefully further afield. What else? Oh yes, massive surge in subscriber numbers. So a big hello to everybody who's new to the channel. If you know, if this is the first new video that you've seen, me do since you've subscribed, and there's a fair few of you. You've probably already watched a few of, you know, my back catalogue. There's 70 plus videos I think in there, so there's plenty to go at. You know, until I get, you know, some other trip videos sorted out and up and running. But yeah, so this has just basically been a bit of a wander today for me. Just thought I'd take you guys with me, you know, show you a couple of little bits. But yeah, it's just been a nice relaxing day. And I can tell I've not walked any sort of length of distance for a bit, because I can feel my legs and my feet a tiny bit. I'm not even carrying much weight, so I need to build myself back up. It's definitely on the cards. But anyway, hope you've enjoyed this. There's, like I say, there's things to look forward to. Thanks to everyone that has subscribed recently, and thanks to everyone who has just subscribed, liked, comment through, you know, the life of the channel. Thanks for watching, stay tuned for more. Catch you guys later.